This is going to be a video tutorial on how to install MeloNX, a iOS port for the Switch emulator Ryujinx. It's fully out now. I've made a few videos about this already, but this is just going to be the overall video installation process for the paid developer account and then also the free one. The free one does require a Mac or a virtual machine running Mac OS and Xcode. Other than that, there's not a lot that is required, but I am going to be going over just everything that you'll be needing throughout the entire process from beginning to end, just so you have everything ready. To make sure you have everything prepared, you're just going to want to go to melonx.org, the official website for MeloNX. I will also be putting this in the YouTube description. Just go down into instructions and then check the FAQ, make sure that all of these things apply to you. Make sure you can do all of these things or else MeloNX is just not going to work. After you've confirmed your device is compatible with this emulator, like I had mentioned earlier, you are going to need a Mac running Xcode or a virtual machine. And for those that haven't used Xcode or haven't used developer tools, you're going to need the specific Xcode version that has the SDK for your iOS. And so if you have iOS 18.4, you're going to need the Xcode 16.2 beta to be able to sign for that specific iOS. Just to be clear, you won't be needing these tools that I had highlighted earlier if you're using a paid developer account. All you'll be needing is access to the web portal for your specific account and a sideloading service like AltStore or SideStore. So you won't be needing a computer running Xcode to be able to install this emulator. And this also applies for people with developer certificates. As long as the entitlements are enabled for your cert, then you can sideload MeloNX as normal. To begin with the paid developer section, you're just going to want to sideload MeloNX using AltStore or SideStore. You can get the IPA from MeloNX.org. I'll be putting that in the description like I had said. Then you're just going to want to go to the developer web portal and go to certificates, find MeloNX, and scroll down. Enable these three entitlements I'm about to show. So do extended virtual addressing, increased debugging memory limit, and increased memory limit. So you actually only need the increased memory limit, but all three are good if you are able to do those, which only paid developer accounts have access. Once you've done that, delete MeloNX and then just reinstall it using SideStore or AltStore. So once you've reinstalled the IPA, you are still going to need to put in your ROMs, keys, and firmware from your hacked switch. Right now, the firmware is not locally supported to be installed, so I'll just be showing how to do the firmware and keys. You just want to go to Files, MeloNX, you can drop your ROMs in as normal. You can do a .nsp or .xci, and then in System is where your prod and title keys go. To install your firmware, it's pretty easy. You just want to install Ryujinx on a computer. Go to Tools and install your firmware from your dumped switch. Go to File and then open Ryujinx folder. Find your biz folder. This is where your firmware is located, and then just compress it and send it to your phone via AirDrop, USB, a drive, whatever you can use that won't corrupt the file is fine. Once you've successfully transferred your biz folder over to your iOS device, you're just going to want to unzip it. You're not going to have to rename it like I am. I've just done this process a few times, so I have multiple. Then you're just going to want to drag the biz folder into MeloNX and replace it. The firmware should be located somewhere in here. Yeah, there we go. So if for whatever reason you need to see that, they are there. So to begin with a free account, I will be putting this link in the description. Just download .NET 8.0, whatever one for Mac OS that you're running, either an ARM processor or an Intel. Just get whatever build is for you. This is the command that we're going to be running soon. You are going to want to install .NET first. So just go down to your downloads. Once that's finished, open it up and just go through the process. So my installation is done, so I'm just going to delete that. And now we are ready to start compiling. So now just open up a terminal and copy that command that I had mentioned earlier. Just copy the whole thing and paste it into terminal. This may not work for every single Mac. There is a second step that Stasi suggests you do just in case you run into any errors. And just as a side note, compiling this will take a rather large amount of time. Just be patient, don't X anything out. This is what it's going to look like once it's completely done, and you can just X out of the terminal. Once that's done, open up Xcode and open up the MeloNX project. I already have it already set up with my own stuff, and so I'm just going to show you where exactly it is in your files so you can find the project. This is also highlighted in the written tutorial, but I found it kind of confusing to figure out exactly where the project was, and so this was just to show specifically where you could find it. Now you're going to have to change the identifiers to something unique for the MeloNX targets, and so as you can see, I've already changed them. As you can see in signing capabilities, I have com.autumn.melonx. It should be Stasi. So just change it to your name or something that is familiar to you. And then just click on the General tab and scroll down until you can find Ryujinx Headless SDL2. Make sure this is to emblem and sign. It will not be set to that when you originally compile it. You're going to manually put that in. I've just already done this before. And other than that, you are basically completely done. I'm just going to gloss over the website real quick to make sure that we haven't missed any steps, and then just continue on with compiling. From here, just plug in your device and select it from the top section, and then go to Product and Run. It won't be as fast to build as I am right now, as it's already done this before. It will take a little bit longer, but it shouldn't take too long. So just let it sit. These yellow markers are warnings, not errors. It's because Stasi sucks at coding, not because there's something wrong. All right. So as you can see, I'm screen sharing my phone right now, and we have two separate builds of MeloNX. One that I've sideloaded from Stasi directly, and then one with our own unique identifiers, which I will show in a moment. As you can see, two different MeloNXs, and then just to show that the identifier has been changed, I'm going to do get bundle ID. Now it should be com.stasi and then a ton of random characters, and that should be it. But instead it will show as autumn. So as you can see, com.autumn.melonx. And now you're completely done with installing MeloNX. I've already shown how to install your ROMs, keys, and firmware as well, so that should be taken care of. Last thing is you need JIT. So you need Xcode or to use JITstreamer EB. Both of those ways are actually pretty easy now. I don't have tutorials up for that specifically yet, but they are very, very simple, and I can link some stuff in the comments for that. But yeah, I hope this tutorial was helpful for some people. Hopefully some new people find MeloNX, join the Discord, and yeah, I hope you enjoy.